Traditionally, everybody waits for January to set goals. But let me tell you a secret. September is your second new year. Now you say, Kentis, why can you say that? Right now, I believe that this is your chance to restart, refocus, and reset your life before the end of the year. Now, because it's school time, this is also a great time to restart, refocus, and reconnect with your goals. Now, if you think back to the first of this year, what was it that you were believing for? What was it that you were striving for? What did you write down on your New Year's resolutions, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. In this video, I want to take the time to talk about how you can lock in and look at what you've already discussed and how you can practically use these next few months, starting today, to help you reach your end of the year goals. Hello, I'm Kantis Simmons, and welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. If you're here, listen, I believe that this will be your best school year ever. Yeah, I believe that this will be your best school year ever. And because I believe that this will be your best school year ever, I want you to do something for me. I want you to put it in the chat box, put it down below in the comments. This will be my best school year ever. Yeah, whether you're a student, whether you're a parent, whether you're an educator, whether you're in high school, middle school, or college, listen, take some time to go ahead and drop it in the chat box on, hey, this will be your best school year ever. Now, what I want to do, I want to take some time to talk about the power of September. Now, a lot of things go on in September. One of the bigger things that go on in September is that, some school districts come back in August. Some school districts come back in September. But September is also powerful because for me, it represents the fall of the year. You know what I mean? It's like the leaves are changing, the grass is changing, things are falling down, things are shifting. And it's almost one of those seasons where the things that are blooming are now about to die. And what I want to do in this video, I want to take some time to really go back and look at the goals that you've set for yourself these last, what's this, 9 months, but also show how what you do in September can set you up to have an amazing 2025. And the cool thing about it is that September is the new year for a school year. And so I'm gonna give you a few points, 4 or 5 things that you can do to make sure you set yourself up and you get a fresh start. Okay. Why this is what I call your second new year. All right. So the first thing I want you to do, I want you to take the time to revisit your goals. Yeah. What goals did you set at the beginning of this year? Maybe it was an academic goal. Maybe it was to be on a certain committee or school activity. Maybe it was to reach the honor roll. Maybe as an educator, you wanted so many improvements in your classroom. Maybe you say, hey, I wanted an increase in my job. Maybe you wanted to, find that new home, or maybe you wanted to a better area of communication in your relationship. This is a great time before we get to the end of the year to revisit your goals, right? What did you write down? What did you put in your journal? I want you to revisit them. And I want you to ask yourself, have I put the necessary energy, systems, strategies, and habits into accomplishing those goals? Now, if you haven't, listen, here's a great time to start. Start now, right? Start now in this month, because what you're going to realize is that some of the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, they are still obtainable by putting in the work. Okay. So I want you to, number one, revisit your goals, specifically the goals that you set earlier this year, but now begin to really dive in to accomplish them here in September. All right. The second thing I want you to do, and realize this is a fresh start, I want you to clean your space. Okay. I want you to clean your space. I want you to clean your calendar, and I want you to clean off your commitments. So the other day I was outside and I was playing in my backyard, and sometimes my backyard, I go out and hit my golf balls. I have a net back there. I hit the golf balls into the net. I do a little, putting here and there in the backyard. And I hit the ball up into the woods, right? And as I was going into the woods, I noticed there was a bush. The bush had brown leaves, green leaves, yellow leaves, orange leaves. And I was like, wow, oh, okay. this is fall. And then I looked up, and I mainly have pine trees in the back of my yard, back of my home. So pine trees, they were like all green. But in the middle of the pine trees, I saw these oak trees. And then I saw the yellow and the brown and the orange and the dark green and the light green. And I said, man, things are changing. And then I came back into my home and I was looking around. I was like, man, this represents the outside. There are some things in my home that are blooming, and then there are some things that look like they were dead. Right. And what I realized, the areas that look, I'm gonna say dead, I would say out of order, right? That were changing were the areas that I lived in the most, right? The kitchen, my den, my office, normally my bedroom closet, right? And so I said to myself, if I clean up these spaces, they will look like my living room that I don't go in a lot. They will look like my dining room that I don't go in a lot. They will look like the other bedrooms that I don't go in a lot. And I asked myself, let me clean this space. And the same thing with our seasons, like seasons are changing. Clean up your space, clean up your calendar. What's on your calendar? What's in your space that's blocking you from reaching your goals? What things have you started doing that hindered you from committing to the things that are going to help you get your goals? Right. So, number two, I want you to clean up your calendar, clean up your commitments. What things are distractions right now? They're not profiting you. You're not being productive, and it's really causing an issue. So, to have a fresh start, clean up your space, clean up your car, clean up your study area, clean up your calendar, clean up your book bag, clean up your commitments to get things going in the right way. All right. Number three, I want you to recommit to the routine. Now, we're a few weeks here into school. What routines have you stopped doing already? Can you recommit to them? Can you recommit to going to bed at a certain time? Can you recommit to removing all the distractions in the bedroom, whether it's a television, whether it's a phone, whether it is a person? Can you recommit to the routine? Can you recommit to studying for 40 minutes and taking a 10-minute break? Can you recommit to, drinking bottles of healthy water versus drinking sugar and carbonated drinks? What's the routine that's going to help you reach your goals? And guess what? This is a great, great time for you to recommit to your routines. All right. Number four, I want you to reframe your mistakes as lessons and not failures. Earlier today I was on a show with some buddies of mine. We do this really cool Bible study Fridays at noon called the Miseducation of a Christian. And we talk about different things based on our faith and our belief. And we were talking about reframing how you look at failures, reframing how you look at defeats or losses. And so many times, if you go back and look at these previous months, and what you will realize is that the areas that you may have failed or areas where you may have seen a loss, it may just be a lesson. What can you learn from that bad grade? Or what can you learn from that failed relationship? What can you learn from losing that thing? I want you to reframe your mistakes as lessons and begin to learn from them. Because now, when you learn from these lessons, they're going to propel you to a place where you now can have this fresh start. It'll now help you to be able to say, man, you know what? I learned this, and this is now helping me reach the goal that I've set. Okay, so number four, reframe your mistakes as lessons, not failures. And number five, I want you to restart with small daily wins. What? Daily wins, right? I want you to start with daily wins. I want you to restart. So if we go back, January was 9 months ago. Now we're here in September. It's a new school year. I want you to start celebrating the small wins. You say, hey, I want to be on the honor roll. Okay, cool. Let's celebrate, passing the quiz. Let's celebrate the fact that you were able to study and do your homework and not be distracted. Let's begin to celebrate the small win of, man, I made it to football practice. Or the small win that say, man, I put on a little weight. Or the small win that says, man, I got a 5% promotion. Because now as we celebrate the small wins, the daily wins, we can now start stacking these wins. Every single day we see a win. Every single day we see something that we can celebrate. And then now we celebrate on Mondays. We celebrate on Tuesdays. We don't focus on, our mess ups or our mishaps, but now we can restart and we start stacking every single day. Then we start seeing wins throughout the week. Then we start seeing wins in the month. And now these months become years, all because we decided to restart with small daily wins. Right? What are the small goals that you can stack and put in order that's going to help you reach those big goals? So here's my challenge for you. My challenge for you is to treat this week like a reset button. Like, boom, a reset. Okay? I want you to treat this week like a restart. I want you to start treating this month like a restart. What buttons can you push to help you reach those goals that you started with in January? What buttons can you push to now get you back on course to develop the routines, to revisit your goals? What things can you do to begin to reframe your mistakes? All right. So listen, revisit those goals, clean your space up, recommit to your routines, reframe mistakes and as lessons, not failures. And then I want you to restart with small daily wins. Listen, I believe that this will be your best school year ever. And actually, have a video right here to show you some strategies that you can use to forever make this your best school year ever. In the classroom, outside of the classroom, in your family, you can do it and do it strong. Now, listen, if you also enjoyed this video, hey, do me a favor. Down below within this challenge, I want you to let me know down below what reset button you will press. What can you commit to that you say, if I make this tweak, I can help reach my goal, right? So listen, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're going to reset. Hey, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this video because other students, parents, and educators need to hear this old good message, all right? Make sure, again, you check out this video here. I'm going to give you some strategies to make this your best school year ever. Talk to you soon.